I guess I feel like as like a homegrown product of ICO, it's very rewarding for me to be able to kind of pay that forward to the next generation of students, is to remember what it was like when I was sitting in their seats. And I think I feel I guess a sense of responsibility to continue to be a part of the atmosphere and provide for the students what I was fortunate to receive. Most of my social network was navigating back to Chicago. That's part of what brought me back to Chicago for optometry school, is knowing I'd be in the city, and a lot of my friends who were going into finance and things like that were also in the city. I didn't want to go to a place where I didn't know anybody. I wanted some level of kind of normalcy, I suppose. Just based on the geography, ICO was kind of already, knowing nothing about any of the schools, it was my first choice because of where it was. But certainly, of course, I was going to have some high standards about what was actually acceptable for me. I wasn't going to choose it just because it was where it was. I think there's a culture about ICO and a culture about Chicago that just can't be easily replicated. I like to be able to demonstrate the human interaction of it. That's a little bit harder to learn, I think. Knowing then that the interaction that I'm having with that patient isn't just improving that patient's life, but it's potentially, expanding to the patients that that student is going to see after they graduate. You're essentially troubleshooting the whole time. You really have no idea what's coming in, and it's up to you and the way that you phrase questions and how you kind of get to the bottom of it to piece things together and diagnose ultimately. We see things in our clinic here that essentially they kind of become like normal or commonplace. Some of the stuff that we see every day and are really good at leaving third year, other students, it's their first time seeing it. Some days I'm a lecturer, some days I'm a clinician, and then at home I'm a husband and a friend and a son. Success to me is much more about happiness and quality of life, feeling like what I'm doing makes a difference, and it's about feeling like I've got my priorities straight, and much less about how many letters I have after my name or how much money I've got in the bank account.
This success story was made at ICO, and yours can be too. If you're a student, contact us about shadowing a Made at ICO optometrist. If you're an ICO graduate, join the Alumni Ambassador Program.